Hello and welcome, my name is Aaron. Today I'm watching a music video for White Memories by Fromis9, which was a choice from me because I don't actually know a lot about Fromis9. I know of them, but I don't know them, and I do remember that I watched the music video for Supersonic when that came out, and that music video left a lasting impression on me, but I just never got further into them. So we are here today to change that. Maybe, I don't know. I just figured because it's December. From the little things I have seen, I'm assuming this is a Christmas release. So I figured, why not? Why not just give it a chance? As always, I will have the English subtitles on. Even if I'm not actively reading them, it does help me to comprehend the song a little bit better. And that's all I have, so let's just start. I thought it was a paw. I thought it was a paw. Straight up. Why is it black and white? What's with the black and white these days? It looks like it's a... It looks like it's gonna be a murder mystery. I'm pretty sure it's not, but it just looks like it. Starting with this black and white with all of them in front, it's like... Is there murder mystery MVs? Just wondering. I feel like there might be definitely some with elements of a murder mystery, but is there like a music video that's just a murder mystery? Just wondering. Color! Yes! The red props are fantastic. It's a very simple thing to do, but it's still a very good choice to do that. I like the beat. Not too sure about the whole song yet. Though honestly, that might be a reason why I never really got into Fromis9. I'm pretty sure I've heard songs from them. The type of music they make is just not the music I like to listen to. So that's a little thing. Having multiple red props in this white set with white outfits is a really good choice just from like a color perspective. And now that we've got the color, I'm kind of thinking that the black-white scenes could have used a little bit more contrast because it all looked very gray. So having just a little bit higher contrast between the individual elements could have helped a little bit. Though it's likely they filmed in color, and in the case that they didn't plan when filming for the black and white in the beginning and that was an editing choice, or the teams just didn't communicate correctly, that's why the contrast is so low in the black and white scene, because color values matter. So if you don't really know what you're doing, then that's gonna be a problem eventually. I think it works, but I also feel like they could have done a higher contrast there. Anyway, let's see how much they're going to do with color. I'm really hoping for blue as well, because the red is very Christmassy. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna get some subtler colors. I can't say that word. I don't know why. But I would really hope for blue, for something bright blue, just as a contrast piece. Blue background immediately. Kitty. Why is the cat getting a magical girl transformation? I'm sorry, Cat Rudolph? Where's the alternative universe where Santa Claus's sleigh is drawn by cats instead of reindeer? The chorus is fun. Let's just refocus on the song. The chorus is fun. I really like that. The set is good. I was really worried because I am aware that another thing I am aware of is that they debuted with 9 members, that it's been a long time since they debuted, and that they were under Pledis, which is part of Hype Labels, until recently. So I think this is the first comeback since they left. And they're obviously not 9 members anymore, so I was like half concerned about the budget, and I don't know what the weather is like in South Korea, so I also didn't know if they would have the ability to film with snow. So when I heard the titles White Memories, I was like, if there isn't a snow scene, what's the point? So that's good that that is here. I like the outfits. The outfits are really cute. Though I'm not sure how many there are, because I feel like we've seen 4 different ones, but it might just have been 2. I don't know. I am unable to pay full attention to it because even the 2 outfits I'm sure I have seen look very similar. But let's continue, and I need more shots of that cat. I do need more shots of that cat. Her voice is great. This is really cute, but I personally would have... I understand why they did it like this, but I personally would have made the circle in which we see stuff more uniform and bigger, because we're losing a lot of space here. I could think of a few reasons why they did it like this, but I personally would have done it a little bit differently, just because I do think it eats away a lot of the space that could be used otherwise. And it's destroying a lot of the coloring of the music video that we've had up to this point because it's just black around. But the idea here is very cute. The idea is sound. I like that. But this is always a very interesting filming approach because it's pretty easy to do. You just need a higher vantage point to film things like this. And they did the same thing in Girl Sad's Little Miss music video. So I'm kind of glad that I see that again, because I feel like this is an element that can be used in a lot of different music videos regardless of concept, as long as they are doing it with a good intention. Great close-ups. Red outfits! Thank you. Now I would like a blue set, actually, because contrast. They're doing a good job at incorporating they're doing a good job at incorporating the Christmas elements in a way that feels natural to the music video as a whole, because I'm aware of some specific Christmas releases within K-pop, but I just never had interest in them. But here I feel like they took a good bunch of elements to put it all together in a way that is coherent and interesting. And they're doing a good job at showing off the members themselves, which is something some music videos of groups fail at. And it doesn't even have to be bigger groups. Sometimes they just don't have in mind to show off the members. And that shows through. Here, it's very clear they want you to see their faces. They want you to learn their faces. And that's a really good thing, especially for Fromis9, who are in a very particular situation where they have gone through a massive change, but also aren't mega popular. So showing off the members is even more important, because even if one person gets interested in just one of the members, they might stick around. And that can go a long way if it happens multiple times. Galaxy set was not on my list, though I think it's just a black background with white glitter on it. So it might not be intended as a Galaxy background. I find it questionable that they gave one of them a glittery top while everyone else has matte colors. There's also a slight difference in the red tones of the clothes. And I don't know if that's just light or if it's actually a different color. It could be either or both. Also, one of them has white boots, which is also a choice. The white outfits work because everyone is wearing white and they share certain elements, like the fluffiness, on some of the pieces. Here we have two discrepancies that fall out of the status quo that they established with these outfits. So that's a minor issue, but I do have to point it out because it is an issue. Okay, the highlights caught me so off guard. They are really good. They can sing. That's an absolute bonus point. I would love to hear a live stage from this, but I don't even know if they're performing on music shows, so I don't know if I can even find one. Even if they do, we might not be able to find one. Anyway, what I meant to say is I was wondering why it sounded so much like the end of the song, even though it seemed like there's another good chunk of the music video left. So we have an extended music video, but I think my opinions prevail. They did a really good job at the Christmas release. It's not easy to do this, and I think it also depends on how they're going to use that song going forward. But I think it was a good choice for them to do this. But let's finish the music video first. Let's see what we have here. Neatly packed gift. Bedank mich, nein? Hello? Who are you? Outtakes! So that's cute. I do have to mention it, just because it is in my head. These colored backgrounds with each of the members having a different color reminds me so much, because it is literally the same, of Tammy by Wonder Girls, because in that music video they did the same thing. So that's just very interesting. I think that's also catching me so off guard because I reacted to Tammy by Wonder Girls like on a whim because I've never seen the music video until recently. And that was something that stood out to me. So it's so weird to see that here because the Tammy music video, it's almost 18 years old. I think this is a very easy thing to do, which I think a lot of groups should do, especially if, and I still don't know if that's the case for the Wonder Girls music video, and I don't know if it's the case here, but if the background colors are the representative colors of the members, I think this is a great idea. Just to have like a visual record of it instead of just like somewhere in a profile, maybe that's the right information. I would like to see some groups do this more because I think it can work pretty well and it should be pretty cheap to do. So it's a good way to pad a music video in a visually interesting way, in my opinion. It's been a while since I've seen outtakes in a music video. Okay, we're gonna talk here because I usually like to talk on the group logos. I am so sure I've seen the guy in this music video before somewhere, but I cannot remember. I'll surely find out someday. Anyway, this music video as well left a good impression on me. It's obviously a difference if they are a 9-member group or a 5-member group. That brings a lot of changes with it. But I think, considering my impression of this is similar to what my impression to Supersonic still is years later, is a good thing. I do just think that the music Frommy's 9 makes is just not my cup of tea, and that's fine, though this music video was interesting. There are little things I would have done differently, as explained, but on a whole, for a Christmas release, this is good. I like this. If I were to, which I don't, if I were to put together a Christmas playlist for myself, I would put this on there because they can sing. They absolutely can sing. I don't have much thoughts on the choreo. We didn't see a lot of it, but the pieces we saw were nice. And while I think that there were some things beyond what I pointed out directly, like some of the camera work was quite inconsistent, I feel like that is also just a sign of a holiday release, because holiday releases, in my non expert knowledge, seem to be kind of rushed a lot of the times. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have a lot of time for this in like every aspect. So I'm just gonna look over that. I'm gonna look over the little inconsistencies. I think just because I'm already vaguely familiar with them and I don't like any of the songs enough to have them on my playlist, I might, just because they have gone through a big change, wait until their next release, which hopefully won't be a holiday release, to make my final verdict on if I keep up with them or not. Because I have like my list of groups that I react to in full, where I do like 3-part series and I keep up with all the releases, and where I listen to the newly released songs. And then I have groups where I keep like half an eye out, where I'm like a casual listener and I like to check out what they do, but I'm not fully invested. Promise 9 is currently on the brink of me figuring out if I want to have them on that second list where like I check them out just to keep up with them and see what they do, or if I move them to groups I know of but won't react to actively. I'm going to give them one more release because I do believe in many chances, and that's basically what I do with new groups. But for now, color me impressed with the vocals. I would say impressed with the song. Even if it's a song I wouldn't listen to, I can still acknowledge that it's a good song and that it has an audience, even if I'm not part of that audience. So this is good. That's where I'm going to leave it. So, thank you for watching. I do more stuff on my channel. Reactions. I do reactions on my channel. That's what I do. I also write reviews over on Tumblr for some EPs, mini albums, full albums, depending on what I'm catching and when I actually manage to sit down and write a full review. And I think that's all I have. So, again, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves, drink tea, and with this, I release in Depths of the Universe once again. See ya!